Hello, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I wanted to pop on here and do a live stream because we have some, let's just say, some very exciting news. And it's up on the screen now so you can see it here. We are now a #1 bestseller on Amazon. And just super excited. Wanted to just say thank you to everybody who's helped out. And why is that important, right? It's not because it's not just because it was a bestseller. It's important because of this. Now, you may not be able to zoom in here, but what I'm showing you is the top cookbooks, the top diet books that are on Amazon. And right now we are at number 48 of all diet books that have ever been put on Amazon. And why I'm so excited about that, why I'm so happy about that, is because this holiday season, this New Year's resolution time, many people who have no clue who Plant-Based Gabriel is, many people who have no clue anything or anybody who about a plant-based diet, but they can go onto Amazon, search in diet, they can search in weight loss, New Year's resolution, and that is something that's going to pop up. And so I wanted to say personally from my heart, thank you so very much to everybody who's supported the book, who's gotten a book, who's bought multiple books to give as gifts this holiday season, who has shared the posts that have, had links to the book, and to everybody who's already left a review for the book and who is going to leave a review because it means so much to me and it really does make a world of difference. And so I'm just super excited. My mom told me a lot of people have been sending me pictures that they've taken of #1 bestseller, and I don't know how far that'll go or what all lists will get on, but what I'm really excited about and what I hope you understand is that the more it does better on lists like that, right, it just means the more people who are going to be able to see, the more eyes and the more lives that could be changed with the simple changes that a plant-based diet has to offer. And again, it could not have been done or could not have even been remotely possible without all of you wonderful, beautiful people. And so thank you. We will get to some questions. We're just celebrating tonight. Sherry's here, Lauren's here, Kara's here. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're celebrating from, and let me know if you've made any recipes from the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners. I know a lot of you have, and I'm super excited about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that up there, but the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners, I've been making recipes out of it. I know I made the recipes, but I've been making recipes out of it about every single night. And if you haven't checked it out, I have the link in the post, so you can check it out. And if you got it and you enjoy it, make sure you leave a review. It really does mean the world. And here's what I'll have to say about those reviews is, if you leave a review and you say, hey, this is the book that you should be getting if you're a plant-based beginner, well, think of all those people that have no clue who I am, have no clue really who you are, or who any of the plant-based doctors are, and they have no clue. They're just searching plant-based diet. I heard it was going to be good for me this holiday season or this New Year's resolution season. And if there's helpful, informative reviews on a book like that, you have the potential, not me right now, you have the potential to help potentially thousands of people get to experience the same benefits that hopefully you're experiencing, that I've experienced, that my family's experienced, all on a plant-based diet. So super excited about that. I'm just so stoked. And you know what? Let's just jump right to getting Bella in here. She's down here by my feet. She wants to celebrate with us. Come here, Belle. All right. Come here, girlie. Come here. Oh, I know. Bella, what are you excited about? Hopefully you're excited about the book being a #1 bestseller. Think of all those lives that could be changed. All those children, those grandchildren, those nieces and nephews who just by the fact that their parents, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles make a decision to adopt a plant-based diet could be changing the health lives for the better of generations and generations to come. And that's something to smile about if you're me, or to be pretty unnoticeably different in your face if you're Bella. Huh, Bella? Aren't you? You're just so happy about it. No, they haven't had dinner yet. Dinner time's normally 9 o'clock, but I've been so busy running around and jumping on here that dinner time's going to have to be a few minutes late. So, Bella, are you happy about dinner being late? Let me know if you have any questions for Bella. I'm sure she'd love to answer them. Bella, do you think we should get Bubbles up in here you might come back, but let's get Bubbles up here. Again, thank you to everybody who's tuning in. The link is there for the book if you haven't checked it out. But we are a bestseller right now, a #1 bestseller. And again, it could not have been possible without you. without your support, without the love and encouragement that you've all given, it is so incredible. Come here, Bubbles. You want to come up here? Let's get her. All right. Come here. I don't know if you're going to have a chance to... Oof. She's the bigger of the babies. Come here. All right. Don't... You look like you're a little shorter than Bella there, huh? Oh, you give Dad a kiss. All right, that's enough of that. Why don't you tell everybody what you're excited about? Maybe #1 bestseller? How about that, Bubbles? Are you excited? It's a shocker, I know, but ladies and gentlemen, I moved the mic, I know. This is my dear baby Bubblegum's happy face, excited face. Look at her. She is stoked. She's never been more happy in her life. Well, actually, she'll probably be happy in about 30 minutes or so when I feed her dinner. That might be she's the happiest she's ever been every night at dinner time and every morning at breakfast time. How about that, Bubbles? She's very active. You couldn't tell it right now, but she's a very active dog, so we'll put her down. But again, thank you to everybody who's tuned in. I'd love to hear what you've made from the book so far. And hey, if you got a book to gift, have you gifted it? Did someone get it? And are they enjoying it? Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Again, thank you. I'm just so full. I've been so full of gratitude this whole week, but just tonight and getting a bunch of pictures and people sending texts say congratulations. It's been amazing, and I've just been blown away by it. So I thank you to everybody. Thank you. You've made a world of difference, and guess what? You're making a world of difference in the lives of so many others that, yes, you may have gotten a book, purchased it for your children, grandchildren, loved ones, friends, family, and that's going to make a world of difference for them. But beyond that, beyond all that, and I know that's super important, but beyond that, you being a part of getting the book on the bestseller list and getting it in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands of eyeballs this holiday and New Year's resolution time, you've played a part in really, really, really making a difference in so many lives that I don't think I'll be able to really understand, but it doesn't matter. We've made a difference, and that's what it's about, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's just, let's see here. Marie Annick says, is there a lot of sweet potato recipes? Not a super ton. There's probably 3 or 4, and every recipe that has a potato, you could really substitute a sweet potato, not vice versa, because there is the sweet potato nice cream in the plant-based diet for beginners that I wouldn't use a white potato or red potato or gold potato, but sweet potatoes, it's not overly sweet potato, but sweet potatoes do play a good part, just like rice does, and just like oats do, the simple starchy staples. And if you haven't got a book yet, let me just tell you, when you first get it, I want you to go to page 20 because that's where you get your money's worth. Yes, the recipes are great. Yes, the information's great, especially if you're a beginner, especially if you're someone who wants to see that scientific research, wants to see, hey, let's talk about protein, sugar, salt, oil, carbohydrate, all that stuff that you're going to get asked about that you may have questions about. But to make it simple, to make a plant-based diet a lifestyle as quickly and easy as possible, I've added how to cook the basics. How to cook the simple starchy staples, foods like rice, beans, potatoes, oats, corn, quinoa, sweet potatoes, foods that people and populations have built diets around for thousands of years without being plagued by the chronic diseases that are tearing apart our health, like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, right? Diseases that you may have dealt with, that you know loved ones who are dealing with it. And if you close your eyes, you could probably count a dozen people that are dealing with one or multiple of those. But not after and not when we're adopting and utilizing a diet built around those simple starchy staples. And so, knowing that was so important to have the simple starchy staples be the base of a healthy plant-based diet, I've included how to cook them. No matter what cooking device you have, no matter if you have an oven, a pressure cooker, a slow cooker, a stovetop. If you have any of those, if you have multiple, that's great. But if you have any of those, then you'll be able to cook those simple starchy staples. If you have multiple of those, then you'll very easily be able to find your favorite way to cook those simple starchy staples. And so that's something that I've really focused on is in adding this, it's not to say there's one way that's the best way to cook these simple starchy staples. Some maybe, but to me, it's find your favorite way to batch cook those simple starchy staples, the easiest way for you so that I could tell you my favorite way, but it might not be yours. I'll tell you my favorites, but if it's not your favorite way, then you're not going to go ahead and spend that 20 minutes once a week to cook that big pot of brown rice or that big bowl of beans or the big thing of quinoa or cook an oven full of potatoes or sweet potatoes, which, my favorite way to cook brown rice is in the Instant Pot. If I don't have an Instant Pot, on the stovetop. My favorite way to cook potatoes and sweet potatoes is in the oven, roasted, which I've shown you how to do. And then sweet potatoes is, I love them roasted, but I also love them steamed in the Instant Pot on the trivet, with a cup of water underneath. That is wonderful. And and squash, and we cover everything in it. That's not, that's not necessarily what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about being number one, and it's you all. It's what we're doing for the plant-based diet and thinking about everything else that's going on in the world. Everything else that's, think it's good or bad or in between, we've been able to make a difference this holiday season, and it really at the most pivotal time of the year, if you think about it, when family and friends are getting together. I know that if you're tuning in, there's a good chance you've gotten a book, you've gifted a book, so you've made a difference in helping your family, friends, and loved ones. But now, we get the holiday season around us, family and friends get around us, and then we can say, or people can see, they're on Amazon looking for gifts. Oh, plant-based diet, let me check that out. Or we get into the New Year's resolution time when people are saying, how am I going to lose weight? How am I going to, which hopefully you are not going to get to the point where you need a New Year's resolution. We've talked about that before. We've done some live videos about it. If you have any questions, we can talk about it a little bit tonight. But those who are looking to have a resolution this New Year's, looking at a plant-based diet, hopefully could really make a difference for them and in their lives. And so that's what we're really hoping for. Let's see here. Sherry said, I made the chili today. The easy 4-can chili from the plant-based diet for beginners. Sherry, you've made it, and I know I've probably had 4 dozen people who've reached out that said they made it and they loved it. So let's see what Sherry said. Added some chopped mushrooms that needed to be used. Mac and peas yesterday, all delicious and easy. Sherry, I'm so excited to hear that. That's exactly what we wrote the book for. Easy, delicious, whole food plant-based. Simple also. Simple to make. Shelly tuned in. Jean says, so happy for you. You're awesome and hard work paid off. I'm going to make some muffins this weekend for non-plant-based eaters that are family members. I'm cheering you on, Jean. I'm cheering you on. I'm hoping those muffins can make a difference. Remember, I know you've heard it probably before, but you lead them and love them, and that's really how we make a difference. And speaking of leading and loving, look out for a video coming out tomorrow of a talk I did, and from a group of, there was over 4 dozen, about 50 plus people. I think there was about 50 plus people at a group I spoke at just 2 days ago here in Virginia at a plant-based group, and it was really great. Got to tell my story, got to talk about the plant-based diet for beginners, and got to show them and talk about how I've effectively helped my mom, my dad, my sister all adopt a plant-based diet, lose 70, 60, and 75 pounds. See my in-laws, help them adopt a plant-based diet, grandparents, cousins, and myself adopt a plant-based diet, lose 100 pounds, and regain my health after breaking my back and ending my college football career, where I was 100 pounds overweight, lost all that weight, and now hopefully putting on a little bit of muscle, but that's neither here nor there. You don't have to do that. Lose the weight, regain your health. We're going to be great there. Let's see what else we have here. Jesse said, isn't he just the cutest? I'm thinking we're talking about Bubbles or Bella, Jesse. But if you're talking about me, I'll take it too. I'm blushing. No. I'm guessing that we were talking about Bubbles or Bella. Lisa says, how long can you keep anytime cheese in the fridge? So if you're wondering what anytime cheese is, we're not talking about some gross secretion of another mammal. We're talking about the anytime cheese sauce from the plant-based diet for beginners on page, if you're tuning in, you might know what page it's on. It is on page 127. How long does it keep in the fridge? Oh, we'll keep it in there for about 5 days. We keep our fridge a little bit cooler, about 35 to 37. You could keep, they say to keep your fridge 40 or less to keep bacterial growth down. We like to keep it a little colder, so 35 to 37. 5 to 7 days isn't unheard of. If you're more of that 38 to 40 degrees, you might be 4 days with keeping it in the fridge. You may want to just turn that temp down a little bit in the fridge. That's your choice. I find that food stays a little bit better at 35, 37. in our fridge at least. But yeah, it works. It stays in there really good. And if you make that anytime cheese sauce and you're worried that you're not going to be able to use it all while it's that 5 to 7 day period in the fridge, then you can easily freeze it. Use a freezer safe Ziploc bag or whatever freezer safe container you want to use. Use that, and then go ahead and you can keep it in there for, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It'd be a long time to say, I'm not going to use that for 6 months. But if you did, you could do it. And then let it thaw and reuse it. Use it in a dish, and you'll be good to go there. Let's see here. Darren tuned in. Jesse said, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, all wonderful foods, all wonderful starches and fruits. And vegetables there. Pam's in. Jesse's in. Oh, I'm a rice cooker. Yes, I love rice cookers. Jesse said, then I have my beans in the Instant Pot. Love to hear that. Cassie says, lentil loaf. Love to hear it, Cassie. Yes, the home-style lentil loaf with maple balsamic glaze on page 94 and 95 of the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners. I actually got asked, we were at Dr. Miller's. Well, we'll talk about Dr. Miller's checkup a little bit in a second or two. Remind me, let's talk about Dr. Miller's checkup. If you'd like to hear about Dr. Miller's recent checkup, who's getting close to her due date, we're beyond excited, super excited. We're not finding the gender out. We are waiting to be surprised until the birth, so that's been fun. But we're at the checkup, and our midwife, we got a copy, tuned in. Well, hey, Dan C. Miller Jr. just tuned in, and if I just want to mention this, Dan, if you're tuned in, I'm so excited about your dad. I haven't been back to South Bend table tennis for a little bit, but saw that my former table tennis coach back in South Bend, Indiana, is working his way to get a chance to make the U.S. Olympic team for the upcoming, next Summer Olympics. It's super excited. So Dan, thanks for tuning in, and tell your dad I said hello, and I'm cheering him on, and excited to support him through it. So yes, but we were at our Dr. Miller's recent checkup, and she, talking with the midwife, she had actually ordered a book, and has wanted to, adopt a little more plant-based in her diet. Wonderful. I wonder who would have had a influence on her for that. I don't know, but we're there, and she said, what should I make? And the first thing that came to mind, I said, the home style lentil loaf. Well, if you just kind of know someone, you've built a relationship with someone, and you get used to recipes, say in a book like this, or on a website, forksoverknives.com, brand new vegan, eat plant-based, plantbasedgabriel.com, and you know someone, it's pretty easy. You say, you know what, what recipe should I try? You just know right away, you try this one. And that's kind of what it was. So yes, Cassie, also known as the Stay-at-Home Vegan on Instagram and Facebook. Her Facebook page, the Stay-at-Home Vegan. Cassie, drop the link to that if you're still in here. Go check her out. Amazing. She is my wonderful cousin who is now a wonderful plant-based influencer, a great mom to my nieces and nephews, and a great cousin to myself, a great wife to her husband. She's just a great person overall, and you should go check her page out. She's really great. Katie says, I love this book. I'm so glad to hear that. Cassie, my cousin, the Stay-at-Home Vegan, says, my niece and nephew, Corey and Shay, say, hi, Gabriel. Well, hello, Corey and Shay. Good to hear from you. Katie says, thank you for all your help. Well, you're so welcome, Katie. I'm so glad to be of assistance, and hopefully the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners can be of assistance to you. And again, we're talking about tonight how the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners is now a #1 bestseller. I don't know what all lists we're going to get on, but at the moment, we do know that it's going to have the chance to change a lot of lives this holiday season, and that's what I'm hoping for. People who have no clue who I am, and that was a question I know I got a lot of was, Gabriel, why not have your picture bigger in the page? And I don't have control over all that. Or why not give your whole story, put a couple chapters in on your story, which there may be a book for that in the future. We'll see. But at the time, we were hoping, and the reason for writing this book was so that people who know me, who are adopting a plant-based diet, and I could have a resource that I could give to people or recommend to people that I kind of had control over, that I know is sound, evidence-based, research-based, recommendations. But beyond that, it was more so that it could be a resource moving forward for those who have no clue who I am, for those who have no clue, previous or past, experience on a plant-based diet, but for those really who are just interested in a plant-based diet, for a great resource with some great, simple, easy to make recipes that can make the adoption of, bridge that gap from going from a standard American diet or wherever they're coming from to a healthy, whole food plant-based diet as easy, simple as possible. And that is what our goal is. And that's what we're hoping it does. Now that it's on the top 50 of all cookbooks on Amazon, #1 in its respective category. So I'm really hoping so. And Katie, it's wonderful to hear that that's been the case with you as well. Brenda says, made the blueberry muffins, lentil loaf, orange glazed tofu, peanut butter and ice cream, and baked mac and peas, all yummy and so simple. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Brenda may be in the lead, number one. So the book came out on the 10th, 4 days ago. It sounds like Brenda's made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recipes in 4 days since the book's release. And so if you've made more recipes than Brenda, let me know. But right now, Brenda, you're in the lead. Thank you so much. It says they're all yummy and so simple. It's exactly what we're hoping for. And what you didn't say, and which almost, as I'm glad, doesn't need to be said because it's all healthy, whole food, plant-based. So yummy and simple is great. And that's all we should be focused on. With a book like this, let the research and with the recommendations take care of the healthy, whole food, plant-based part, because all you need to worry about is making the simple, easy recipes, knowing, right, we've included the, macro, all the things if you're worried about a certain specific nutrient. But in general, simple, starchy, staple-based recipes with fruits and vegetables as close to a natural state as possible. And I am so glad to hear that, Brenda. Wow, you're really killing it. Sherry says, hi, just got your book last night from Barnes & Noble. Love it and love your recipes. From Sherry. Thank you so much, Sherry. I'm really glad to hear that. I hope you love it. I'm excited to hear what recipe you make first. Jesse says, I was talking about you. You're cute. All right, Jesse. But maybe Bubbles and Bella too. I don't know. Bubbles and Bella are going to get a little jealous about that. Sherry says, would like more info on your 3-2-1 burgers on your site. Can I use canned beans? That's a really good question, Sherry. And it's something that I had promised everybody that I was going to put on the website, the 3-2-1 burgers, but I had hopefully understandably gotten busy these past couple weeks. But I'll get that put on there. I'm marking it down again, Sherry, but my 3-2-1 burgers is the base of really all my burger recipes. And so what that is it's 3 cups of cooked beans. That could be black beans, red beans, pinto beans, orange beans, pink beans, yellow beans, white beans. It could be any colored beans. Okay, and we're going to drain and rinse them. So can you use home-cooked beans? You, of course, can. This is to answer your question, Sherry. Can you use canned beans? You most certainly can. Can you use lentils that have been cooked and drained? You definitely can, following the recipe for just how to cook the basics. Lentils, chickpeas, and beans in the book all work great. You're going to want to drain and rinse them, whether they're canned or homemade. And then you're going to use 3 cups of those, 2 cups of cooked brown rice. Follow the recommendations for how to cook brown rice. If you have a stovetop, pressure cooker, slow cooker, any way that you have, any appliance that you have to cook that in. So you're going to use that. And then we're going to take 1 cup of oats. That could be rolled oats, or quick cooking oats are my favorite because they break down and they get mixed in a little bit better. Basically the exact same thing. We're just getting something that's just going to homogenize and mix in a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. So 3 cups of cooked, drained and rinsed beans, 2 cups of cooked brown rice, and could it be any grain? It could be cooked quinoa. People have been done that too. And then 1 cup of quick cooking oats. That is the base with a 4. So you got 3-2-1. You remember that. And then 1/4 of a cup of a liquid. That could be a straight liquid like water, vegetable broth. Or it could be a liquid in sauce form like ketchup, barbecue sauce, which there's a ketchup and barbecue sauce recipe in the book. It could be your favorite oil-free dressing. So 1/4 of a cup of liquid, and then your favorite seasonings. I normally go a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and season it with anything else you want. You could make a curry burger. You can make a salsa burger. You could make, chili cumin. Go crazy with it. But I will get that on the website, and I plan on posting some more burger recipes because I know they're really helpful to so many people. It's just, hopefully, understandably, I've been pretty busy getting things out there, getting recipe videos like tonight's oil-free rice and vegetable stir-fry, which if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out, share it, tag someone you think should make it. That's a really simple, easy recipe from the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners, of course. But yes. But hey, we're all here because the book's number 1, and you're number 1 because you've made it possible. I couldn't have done it, right? I can come up with the recipes, post videos, but it really doesn't make a difference without the help and support of all of you wonderful, beautiful plant-based eaters and future plant-based eaters who have come out to the book release parties, who've come to the talks, who have shared posts, who've just made the world a difference, and I just want to thank you. And that's why we're on here. I'm thanking you, hopefully answering some questions. Cassie, the stay-at-home vegan, says, Alan tuned in too. Oh, Alana says, is your book available in Australia? It is, Alana. If you want to get probably the quickest way to get it in Australia, and you'll want to check. You could either use Amazon through Australia, the Amazon Australia, or Angus and Robertson, I hear, is the quickest. And then I'll answer a few other questions. If you're in Canada, I hear the quickest way to get it, you can use Amazon.ca, but I hear the quickest way, because I hear Amazon.ca, Canada's Amazon, is actually taking a little bit longer. Check out Chapters if you're in Canada, because I hear they can get it a little bit quicker. So if you have an Amazon order, and you find a quicker way to get it through Chapters or another local bookstore, you can always, cancel that order from Amazon, or just keep it and, get the book for later to gift, or you choose whatever. So Angus and Robertson or Amazon in Australia, and then, or any local bookstore you have with the author name and the title of the book. And then in Canada, it's going to be Chapters or Amazon are going to be where you're going to want to look. So Eileen tuned in. Christy says, had a sweet tooth tonight and made the chocolate ice cream with vanilla extract and cocoa powder on page 116. Delicious. Christy, I'm so glad to hear it. And that's a question I get a lot. I have a sweet tooth. What can I have on a plant-based diet? Or, it's like, we say it a lot, is I have a sweet tooth, like it's a bad thing. But really, when a sweet tooth, that you're curving those cravings, or you're satisfying that sweet tooth with a wonderful fruit-based ice cream, a great piece of fruit. There's all these different whole food plant-based options. That a sweet tooth is wonderful. It just means that, hey, you're craving this certain whole food plant-based food. Sweet potatoes, crave sweet tooth. So I'm so glad to hear that, Christy. I'm so glad to hear it. Renee said, oil-free rice and vegetable stir-fry. Delicious. So glad to hear it, Renee. Cheryl says, yay, great book and info. Thanks. I'm so glad to hear that, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Sherry says, I'm going to have your whole family on Facebook. You, Gracie, now Cassie. I'm so glad to hear it. Hey, they're all wonderful people, and they're just great. They can hopefully help you along if you have any questions too. Sandy says, awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Sandy. Tiffany says, I'm slowly transitioning to plant-based because I'm known to fail at things when I jump straight in. I plan to be completely transitioned by the end of January. So far, so good. Down 8 pounds in 1 month. I have the Kindle version of the book. Tiffany, I am so glad to hear that. I am cheering you on. And that was a great question that just to kind of dive a little bit deeper into your comment there. And the question that I received at my most recent talk I gave was, or in the Q&A section was, do you recommend going cold turkey? Do you recommend, jumping all in, or do you recommend doing slowly transitioning? I jumped all in. That's the person I am. And here's the deal. Here's what I will say. If you're someone who has serious health conditions, or you've been prescribed a plant-based diet by a doctor, you have a condition that you are worried that is, progressing, then you need to jump right in. There's no time to transition. But if you're someone like Tiffany, Tiffany, who is, understanding that plant-based diet is optimal for their health, that it's going to increase their, overall health, helping them lose weight, helping in longevity, things like that. But you're someone who knows that, hey, transitioning, making it happen, having a goal in place to say, by this time, I'm completely all plant-based, that works wonderfully too. So you kind of make that decision. If you're kind of up in the air, you don't know, go for it. Just go for it. But Tiffany, I'm cheering you on. I'm so glad to hear it. And I'm really glad to hear that you've got the book in your hands, the Kindle version, and that you're using it to help you adopt that plant-based diet. So I'm cheering you on. And if you ever have any questions, shoot me a message on Facebook through the Plant-Based Gabriel page, and I normally get back to you in a day or so. So Tiffany, keep up the great work, and you're having a wonderful new year. Wonderful new year. Jacqueline says, so annoying, my sound's not working. I'm sorry to hear that, Jacqueline. Let's see. Just make sure our sound's working. All right, my sound's working. So I'm sorry to hear that, Jacqueline. Maybe log off, come back on once it uploads on the page. That'd be a way to check it out and make sure the sound should be working on that once that gets figured out. Caitlin says, love the book. Great recipes, so simple and easy to follow. Trying out the French fry recipe tomorrow. Ooh, the 15-minute French fry. Let's see where we got it here. I know I can find it. Hopefully find it in a 15-minute French fries. Look at those. Absolutely delicious. Do you have to use oil to make French fries? No, you don't. You don't need to harm your body with inflammation-causing, high-fat, calorie-dense oil. You can do it as simple as using some vegetable broth and seasoning and a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet. You can do it in the air fryer, but 15-minute French fries from the book are wonderful. And it helps you get in the habit. And this was some pushback I got from my, the publisher and kind of the editors were, can't we start from raw potatoes? Why use already cooked potatoes? Because, and here is why, ladies and gentlemen, because I want you to get in the habit of having those simple starchy staples cooked and ready to go. I'm not saying you have to batch cook recipes. I'm not saying you have to batch cook for a week in advance. But I am saying when you cook simple starchy staples, I don't want you to bake 2 potatoes. I want you to bake 10, 15 potatoes and keep them in the fridge so that you have them whenever you need them, because it's a whole lot of a process to warm the oven up, bake something for 40, 50 minutes, and then do that 3 or 4 times a week. That's pretty tough, especially if you're trying to make a plant-based diet, a lifestyle, compared to baking 10, 15 pounds of potatoes once a week, depending on your family size, right? 5 to 15 pounds of potatoes. And keeping that cooked and ready to go in the fridge is much different, much easier, much more sustainable. And so that's why we did it with the already cooked potatoes. And then you just slice them up. And in 15 minutes, you've got beautiful French fries using multiple ways of doing it. So I'm excited to hear how you like those, Caitlin. Oh, thank you for adding the stay-at-home vegan, giving her link. Check her out. Cassie says, so proud of you. The kids were ecstatic. Well, tell Corey and Shay I said hello and thank them for I'm thanking them for supporting me and being so amazing. And tell them to be nice to their mom and dad and brother. Sherry says, which may be a bit of a, this wasn't Sherry, this is me, maybe a bit of a stretch, Cassie. I don't know. Sherry says, thank you for the bean answer. Also, when you say pressure cooker, is that an Instant Pot? And so happy about your coming baby. You are going to make an awesome pot. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. Yes, so when I say pressure cooker, I mean you could use a pressure cooker on the stovetop, but what I'm really referring to, what most people are going to have in their kitchen nowadays is an electric pressure cooker, which could be the name brand Instant Pot. It could be the Sears brand. It could be the Ninja. It could be any brand of, it could be any brand of electric pressure cooker, and that's what we're talking about. They're all going to plug in, and yeah. So when I talk pressure cooker, I'm talking electric pressure cooker normally, which could also mean Instant Pot, yes. Alana said, thank you. Well, you're so welcome. Patricia said, congratulations, Gabriel. Got my box of books. I bought 4 for presents and 1 for myself. It's a beautiful book. Well, thank you so much, Patricia. That it just warms my heart to know that, not only are we getting books and Patricia's getting a book for herself, but she understands how important a plant-based diet is for health. Not just thinking optimal health for us, but for family and loved ones who are really sick because of the standard American diet, because of what they're putting on their plate and putting in their mouth 3 times a day. And as simple of a task as either gifting a book, sending them a link to a website with recipes, sending them a link to a talk by a plant-based doctor, can really change their health, as it's changed mine, as it's changed many of yours, I know. And so thank you so much, Patricia. Sherry says, I'm going to make the French fries Monday for my grandson. He's super picky and has horrid diet at home. I pray he grows out of it and learns to eat whole food plant-based. Well, Sherry, as long as you lead him and love him and you're there for him and you make it, you're showing him how tasty and simple and easy this plant-based diet thing is. I have a full confidence in you that he'll be a future whole food plant-based eater. Jen says, just got my book the other day. Love the simplicity of the recipes. Love the Hawaiian luau burgers. So glad to hear it, Jen. I think you may be one of the first people that I've heard have made the luau burgers so far. So that's great to hear. I'm really excited to hear that. Heather says, made the refried bean taquitos and the fluffy mashed potatoes with gravy out of the cookbook. So delicious. I love how easy and simple these recipes are, but still so full of flavor. Heather, I'm so excited to hear that. Yes. She made the fluffy mashed potatoes and gravy, a super simple, easy recipe to make, and the refried bean taquitos without all the added junk. This is super simple, easy to make. It can be done in just a few minutes. I'm so excited to hear that. So excited to hear that, Heather. Thank you so much. Kim says, love the book. The coffee mug, the chocolate mug cake is great. I'm so glad to hear that, Kim. Yes, if you're thinking you need something sweet or you need something quick, the mug cake is great. Super easy recipe and one that's going to be lower in fat and just a really simple, easy to make one that can be also made, in just a minute or 2, a couple minutes. So yes, thank you. Let's see here. Tracy says, do you use nutritional yeast or take a B12 supplement? Well, I use nutritional yeast in some recipes, and that's a question I get, not super, all the time, but I have gotten it a few times about the book. nutritional yeast is included as an ingredient in a few recipes, just a few. Like maybe there's a few recipes and 70 other recipes don't use it. And except for the anytime cheese sauce, really the nutritional yeast isn't a necessary thing. And you can still make the anytime cheese sauce without nutritional yeast. But do I use it? Yeah, to give a cheesy flavor to some dishes. That's the only reason. I don't use it for a supplement. I don't use it for any nutritional value, knowing that it does have some, right? And it's not like a bad thing, but it's not something I'll take because it's nutritional yeast. I use it because it just adds a cheesy flavor. Now, do I take a B12 supplement? Yes, Dr. Miller and myself do take a B12 supplement, and that is covered in the book. That is the only supplement. There are no pills, powders, potions, prescriptions that are recommended when starting a plant-based diet. Of course, if you're, on something prescribed by your medical practitioner, that's something you're going to want to, discuss with them, continue until your diet and nutrition has, made it obsolete. And then you can talk to your doctor about that. I'm not the medical care professional to be talking about that with, but supplementation, yes, we do talk about it. And let's just talk about here, super simple, but I'll cover it here. Just the end of it. Many factors, including age, gender, and lifestyle, affect the recommended intake, and that's from from USDA and different sources. Intake of vitamin B12, but the current recommended daily dose for healthy adults is about 2.4 micrograms a day. And so, can you get a supplement that's 2.4 micrograms a day? No, you can't. So you get one that's 500, and you take it once a week, twice a week. Very simply, and if it's something that it's not like you don't take it this week and you're gonna, there's long-term consequences that have been shown, that potential long-term consequences from not taking it. And so, you take it, you take your pill. Yeah, it's so simple. And we also talk about 40% of the population of plant-based and not plant-based eaters, those meat eaters, due to the current sanitized agriculture system we have, are all low to deficient in vitamin B12. So it's just something that really everybody should be taking, just due to the fact that you're getting clean produce and your drinking water has been sanitized. So, but not anything to really be worried about. Just get a vegan source, and really, really simple. Let's see here. Maureen said, and Tracy asked about nutritional yeast, kind of supplementation wise. You can get it that's fortified, but I don't. The Trader Joe's is one I like to use, and I know it's fortified, but a lot of people like the Sorry brand on Amazon that's unfortified that actually has a better flavor, and I would agree that it has a better flavor. So check for an unfortified version of nutritional yeast, and then just take your vitamin B12 through another means would be my recommendation. It's going to taste better, and you're going to just be a little bit more sound in that there. Maureen says, I love your doggies. Do you feed them whole food, plant-based, no oil? Well, I feed them a vegan prepared kibble. I've got a full post on that on the website, plantbasedgabriel.com. You can type in vegan dog and find it. But yeah, they eat a compassionate diet, one that's good for their skin, good for their health, and one that has really helped enable them. And again, I studied livestock nutrition livestock production in college, but also minored and did quite a bit of coursework in companion animal nutrition, focused on feeding dogs and cats, really. And so I don't do it lightly, but there are some great AFCO certified foods out there, which I do give some recommendations on. Are they whole food plant-based? No, but they're the best things on the market, is what they are. Let's see here. Tiffany and Maureen, if you want more questions about that, of course, shoot me a message. I'd love to send you that information. Tiffany says, thanks. It's been easier than I thought. The majority of my meals are actually plant-based. So to motivate those that think it's a hard decision to make, it really isn't. When you start seeing the results from your healthy choices, then you'll have an easier time choosing plant-based meals versus all others. And she has a page there if you want to follow her, Journey to Clean Health. I'm cheering you on, Tiffany. I'm cheering you on, and really excited about that. Bubbles and Bella are down there ready for dinner. They're starting to get a little antsy. They always fight to see who can sit closest to my feet. But then when it's close to dinner time, which it's past dinner time for them, they start really, there's a lot of movement down there, and most of it's trying to nudge me on to get them to feed them. Sherry gave some hearts. Kareen says, can't wait to get my book on Monday. Karen, sorry. I'm so excited for you to get it, Karen, and I really do hope that you love it and enjoy it and get to utilize a lot of the information in it. And that is, you know what? We're talking about it if you haven't seen it. Sorry, that's the list. That's the big list of bestseller books, which we're in the top 50 of on all time on Amazon, of cookbook style books or how to book. So, but we are number one bestseller in our category, and what we're talking about tonight is really the idea that it does have the potential to help so many people this holiday and New Year's season, because we've all, you've all been so gracious in ordering a copy and then also getting a copy for someone that you love. And one ask that I do have is that you see I have the link up there, and all you have to do is click it if you've ordered the book to leave a review, especially if you've enjoyed the recipes, you've loved them. It's really simple to write a review, and it does mean the world to me. And you think about all those hundreds, thousands of people that are going to be going to that page, that book, because it is their top ranked now, who are going to see it. They're going to be looking at those reviews to say, hey, is this a book that's going to be, I don't know who Plant-Based Gabriel is. I don't know who Gabriel Miller is. I don't know any of that stuff. But is this a book that is sound in research? Is it have good, easy to make recipes? And is it going to help me reach my optimal health, help me lose weight, regain my health? And if you've found that to be the case, if you've enjoyed the recipes, you leaving that good review on there, you have the potential. I don't have the potential now, but you do. You do have the potential to change the lives of hundreds, maybe thousands of people who are going to be coming on that page in the coming months and years. And so I really do appreciate it, and it's a lot of power that you have. And so I really thank you for it. Scott says, sauce with the spring roll recipe is to die for. Outstanding. Scott, I'm so glad to hear it. And here's the great thing, Scott. It's to health for, or it's to, right? It's super healthy, super easy to make. I'm so glad to hear it, Scott. Javier says, how long do the recipes take to make them? Well, Javier, that's a good question. Most of the recipes were designed to be able to be made under 30 minutes, and probably the good majority are made under 15 minutes of prep time, 30 minutes with cook time, right? So very simple. And if you have those simple starchy staples, those foods like rice, beans, potatoes, oats, corn, quinoa, you've batch cooked those using the How to Cook the Basics section of the book, then you could, really realistically make those recipes in just a few minutes. And depending on what you're cooking with also changes that. But really, we made them to be as simple, easy, and quick to make as possible for that reason. I'm sure why you're asking, because we all live very busy lives. We all have many things to do. Sometimes it's easier just to choose easy routes with diet and nutrition. But that's why we've made the plant-based diet for beginners so easy, so that we can bridge that gap and get those recipes done. I think everybody in here who's made the recipes could really attest to say, hey, they're really simple. They come together quickly, and especially if you have those simple starchy staples made and ready to go. Lorna tuned in, says congrats on the bestseller. Lorna's someone who also reached out and congratulated me on it, shot me a picture of the post with the number one bestseller. I really do appreciate that, Lorna. It means the world to me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else to say. I'm beyond blessed. I'm just a simple vegan vegetable farmer out here in the country, and we've got a number one bestseller under our belts, and it's really all you. You've done it. You've helped make it happen, and you've made it a reality, and I really do thank you. I'm truly blessed, and what a time to bring baby Miller into the world. Dr. Miller's due here second week of January, and we're just so excited, so blessed, and excited to share that journey with you as well. We've shared we've shared much of the journey, the 1 acre vegan farm, share the recipes, share what's happening in daily life. And we're excited to share the raising of our plant-based baby with you, right? It's going to be a wonderful time, and really excited to share it. But now we're just kind of sitting here just in awe of the fact that the book has done so well, and that it's continuing to do well, and that if you leave a review, it'll keep doing well, and we really, really do appreciate it. Tracy says, thank you so much. My daughter is plant-based. It's a real learning curve, but I support her. Thanks so much. Tracy, I'm cheering you on, and so glad to hear that your daughter's doing that, and hopefully we all understand the impact that just that one choice that your daughter's made, that how it could influence you to adopt a plant-based diet, and just what that can do for generations to come and all of her loved ones and your loved ones. It's a powerful thing, and it's something that I'm glad to be a part of, and glad to at least assist in many others in doing it. So thank you so much. Tammy says, you earned it. You put in the heart. Well, thank you so much. Melissa said, congrats. Thank you, everybody. so blessed. Wanted to say thank you. Remember, if you see a post, you see something posted, always sharing and liking it, tagging someone that you think would find it helpful, gets more people to see it, and it also just helps touch more lives, especially as we're entering the holiday season. We are in the holiday season, and we're thinking about New Year's resolution time. Hey, let's plan on maybe doing a live stream tomorrow talking about New Year's resolution time, how we don't get stuck into the New Year's resolution trap, where we do so well all year and then do so horribly the holiday season and then get stuck creating many New Year's resolutions. Ann said, congratulations. Thank you so much, Ann. Well, everybody, that's it for tonight. I really do appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you in another post, picture, recipe video very, very soon. And remember, the Plant-Based Diet for Beginners is out now. And if you've got it, you've enjoyed it, you've made some recipes, you've enjoyed them, leaving a good review on Amazon means the world to me, and it can really help hundreds, if not thousands of people for years to come. And so I do appreciate it. If you want some more information on how to do that, I can always send you just a link to do it. But thank you so much. I love you. If you haven't heard already, I really do love you. Super excited. #1 bestseller. Many good things to come, and we're going to be touching and changing many lives this holiday season. Thank you so much. We will see you very, very soon.